For the second straight year, the Montreal Canadiens are #1 in the Core 4 under-24 team rankings. A reminder, this is a ranking of all 32 NHL teams based strictly on their talent under the age of 24 as of the start of the season. Craig, how much of the Habs' top ranking is thanks to their two rising superstars, Lane Hutson and Ivan Demidov?
I would say just about all of it, Gino, because when you have a superstar in Hudson, a budding superstar in Demidov, I don't think there's any question that this is going to carry a franchise in terms of these rankings to #1. I mean, Lane Hutson wins the Rookie of the Year. He's a unique defenseman. There are no other players like him in the NHL. The next player very well may be his brother Cole. He's a Washington Capitals draft pick. But the way that Lane plays the game, he can speed it up, slow it down, he goes sideways, you go forwards, you go backwards. Just a brilliant mind. And certainly that type of defenseman is a player that every team in the NHL would love to have. The Montreal Canadiens know they have a superstar in him. And when we go with Ivan Demidov, you're looking at somebody that is exciting. He can pull you out of your seat. We saw that right from the very first game that he played for the Montreal Canadiens last season. And more than that, he's a great competitor. He wants to be the guy that has the puck on a stick when it matters. He wants to be the difference maker, and he will be a difference maker. He's already shown that he is a difference maker. So when you have that type of skill in two significant positions on your team, surrounded by a lot of other skill with a lot of other good players, yeah, that gets you to #1. Bleu, blanc, rouge, et numero uno.
All right, way to mix up the French and the Italian altogether, then. I appreciate that. It's been a steady, if not spectacular, past couple of seasons for Juraj Slafkovsky. 50 points 2 seasons ago, 51 points last year. How much more upside do you see in the 21-year-old's game?
Yeah, I see upside in terms of Uri being a real significant contributor with his size and his strength, imposing himself. I think 60 points is something that should be realistic for Uri. I think that when we start to look at a first overall pick and think that that should be 80 points, I don't see that in him. But I see his presence. I see his size. I see his abilities to make life really uncomfortable for opponents as something that's really significant for the Montreal Canadiens. You need different types of players. And I think that Uri is learning. He's just 21 years of age, Gino. And as he continues to learn, that his size, that his ability to impose and create a lot of like discomfort for opponents and a lot of advantages for himself and for his team, I think that's where Uri's got to really focus in on. If we're going to judge him on points, I don't think that it's going to be much more than 60, 65 in his career on a consistent basis per season. But all in all, you're looking at a player that I think is incredibly valuable to what the Montreal Canadiens are about now and how they want to compete for Stanley Cups in the years to come.
Goaltending's always been front and center in Montreal. How excited should Habs fans be about the development of Jacob Fowler, their third rounder from 2023? And what do you see as a reasonable NHL timeline for him?
Well, I think Jacob has been an outstanding goaltender. He was an outstanding goaltender in the USHL, outstanding goaltender at Boston College. He's been outstanding in the American Hockey League, and yeah, that projects to being outstanding in the NHL. I think he's going about it exactly the right way. You know, taking the steps, mastering the levels, and then getting himself ready to go to the next level. We know, Gino, the NHL is not an easy league to play in. And I think as Jacob knows that he doesn't have to be rushed, he can just work on his game. Dustin Wolf, who's a premier goaltender for the Calgary Flames, he spent a lot of time in the American Hockey League mastering his craft. I think that Jacob can do similar things. He might get there a little bit sooner than Dustin did, but I think that in 2 years' time, you could be looking at the starting goaltender for the Montreal Canadiens.
That would be something. Check TSN.ca and TSN's YouTube page all week for extensive coverage of this year's Core 4 Under-24 project.